Well, hey everybody, welcome to a closer walk avec moi. She's been a pretty dry April, not a lot of mushrooms out there right now. There's a couple, but there's a whole lot of plants and everything out there and a whole lot of other stuff out in the bush. So come for a walk with us, see what we can see. So we actually, in the last episode, we put out a call to action for this guy, and it turns out that one of our totally amazing subscribers, a very knowledgeable one might I add, has come up with what this possibly is, and most probably is Reticularia lycoperdon. Now, I had originally thought that this looked like a lycoperdon originally, and so that makes kind of sense. And yeah, these guys are actually a slime mold, and they are they kind of almost move like an amoeba. Kind of, they can shift their position somewhat, and just really wild. And a lot of the slime molds can do that. Yeah, pretty neat. Now, originally Jean-Baptiste Francois Pierre Bouliard, Johnny Pete they called him on the badminton team, he put it in the Reticularia genus, and I guess it was well, it's a good couple hundred years later. I think it was 1976 that Marie Lenore Farr, and they literally did call her Lenny Farr, and she was also the first woman to be elected to the Mycological Society in America. That's pretty neat. And of course she was known for tapping on my chamber door. Now in Mexico, they call it caca de luna. And yes, it's exactly as it sounds, and it means moon excrement or moon poop. Yeah, pretty bizarre. I think that's hilarious. Either way, she put it into the Enteridium genus. Oh, I just lost him. And that is where she stays. Are these guys edible? Well, down in Mexico, when these guys are really young, yes, they are edible. So when they're young, they'll actually devour like spores, and they'll snarf down bacterium and several different things there. Really neat. Yeasts are another one that they'll snarf on. Flies will lay their eggs in these guys, and the little pupae will stick their little bums out and eventually hatch. But yeah, really cool. Thank you so very much for helping us out on this identification. Yeah, really neat. So it's kind of dry now. I don't think that I'm going to find any more of these guys. And as you can see, they're quite crumbly after they go into this part of their life cycle. And these actually, when they do get dried out, they can be reconstituted with moisture and rain and whatnot, from what I understand. Yeah, pretty wild. And he's just chowing down on this chunk of wood here. It's actually, this has been attacked. This stump here was attacked by a brown rot decayer, leaving all the lignin behind, and this is the lignin that's left over, and it comes apart in kind of cubes like that. The lignin's actually white, but as it gets oxidized, it turns orange. So this is what I have on this guy, and nothing more. Okay, so for the past couple years, I have been finding eggs all through my forest. This is so weird. I thought at first, I looked them up, and I thought at first it was the barred owl, and they look very similar and very bizarre. Some of them are looking like chicken eggs. So really confused. Now I do know that raccoons can travel up to 18 kilometers in a night to find their food, and there are a lot of people that have chicken coops around here. However, this brown egg is not the same as this one, or those ones. Yeah, here's the top of this brown one here. So we got that. Yeah, just bizarre. So, and then, as I was walking this morning, oh, and by the way, I was finding these in the middle of winter. So, I really don't know what it was. Just walking along, this one's a whole one. It's still got the yolk or baby or whatever the heck is inside it. I do not know. But yeah, totally bizarre. I will find out where these are from, you know. I'm just totally baffled, but it's always fun. I like a challenge. So And I still, like I say, just about every day I come up here, I'm finding at least one or some parts of shells or whatever. My brother-in-law comes up, he's found a couple, and yeah, and like I said, even in the middle of winter when there shouldn't be any eggs, so that's bizarre. The ones in the middle of winter were all like the chicken eggs. These ones that I find in the spring and summer and throughout are all, I don't know, they look like the owl eggs, but not positive on that. Again, I will find out. Well, it looks like we're going to get some Oso berries this year. Last year we didn't get any. This is Ommelaria cerasiformis. These guys have really different flavor to the berries. But these guys are nitrogen fixers, but not in the way that most plants, or at least the cyanobacteria in the plants, convert it. Most of them, they convert them into like an ammonium compound, so like NH3, NH4. These guys slap a carbon and hydrogen onto them and make them cyano compounds. So they're still usable by the plants and stuff, but they're somewhat toxic to humans. But it's such a minor amount that's in these. You just have to limit your intake is the big thing with them. But they're also called the Indian plum or the Oregon peach. That's due to their two different colors of their berries, I'm assuming, because when they're quite unripe, a little bit beyond this one. So when they get to peachy color, they look like an actual peach. And they even have the little cleft. And then when they're ripe, when they go like a black color, then they look like a plum. So, but yeah, these guys are really quite high in antioxidants. But again, they've got the cyano compounds. Oh, and growing all over it, we got the Linistra ciliosa. This is the honeysuckle, the orange fluted, orange-belled honeysuckle. And I love taking those little flutes and just sucking the nectar out of them when they're ready. They're yummy. We also have a little pink version around here somewhere, but it's not on. Oh, these guys are getting ready too. There they're coming. Oh, yay, they're coming. It's at the top of the bush. This one's not quite ready yet. But pretty soon you'll be able to get your little bits of nectar out of the bottom. Just a little sweet treat on the trail. Yeah, in this alder grove here is my little honey mushroom patch here. That's Armillaria ostoyae, or Solitipes. Yeah, we're not there yet, but within the next month or two, they should be coming up. And they're really all through this area. It's just awesome. They are parasites. And they'll form a rhizomorph in search of their next victim, I guess would be, you know, but they're at the base of each of these alder trees here, all of them, and all the way in between. I've got a really angry robin lady up here somewhere. I'm sure she's got a nest, and that might even be it right there. Either way, we're going to get out of here just so we're not going to bug her any longer. So, come on, baby girl. I can never get enough of this. It's just so beautiful. The mycelium of the Chlorosoboria ruginacens stains this wood blue, this beautiful blue, and it's not blooming right now. It's not fruiting right now, unfortunately, but yeah, it's makes some beautiful woodworkings and really neat. Love it. Keep the backwards nice and moist. They like it dark and they also like it damp. We just had a bit of a drizzle. I thought maybe they might be fruiting, but they're not. Not that they're edible, they're just beautiful. I love our little huckleberries. These are our red huckleberries, Vaccinium parvifolium. They're just little beautiful things. These are the little flowers. The vacciniums right now are blooming. Yes, also the ovalifoliums, the blueberry ones, the wild blueberries. They are also blooming. Yeah, just awesome. I can't wait. Such good berries. And these guys are also blooming right now. These are the spurge laurels. This is Daphne Laurel. And these guys, their sap is it'll burn your skin. If you ingest it or your leaves, you're going to burn your tongue. It's going to scald you all the way down through your esophagus and your GI system. They're neither a spurge nor a laurel. They're related to the rhododendron, which kind of looks obvious. But yeah, so these guys are invasive and very, very terrible, terrible plants. So just be careful of these. If you're cutting them down, wear all the gear and everything, so to make sure that you're not getting any of the sap on you. Terrible stuff. Yeah, the compound in them is Daphne toxin, so named after the plant. Yeah, here's the Vaccinium Ovalogium, the round leaf blueberry. These guys are blooming. And last year I completely missed them. I got really busy with Buck and Billy Ray actually, and they dried up. It was pretty hot and dry last year, so. But oi, they're kind of going all the way up this guy. So I can't reach up there. That's a good 15 feet up. Wow, that's the tallest I've ever seen. But probably competing with the blackberries and whatnot, trying to get up, and the rose bushes. The Nootka rose is right there, and they get pretty tall. But yeah, these guys, so good. And just like your regular blueberries, they're huge in antioxidants and just all the good vitamins and yummified goodliness that's in them. So yeah, this year I'm going to be prepared. Being a scout leader at 12 years, I should have been, but twasn't. So anyways, knowledge is power, my friends. Now we showed you the Napamrasamosum when we were actually doing Totally Wild Foods. I think it was episode 6. And these are the flowers, because it was long before that. Or at least that's the flower head anyways. Those will all open up. And hopefully we'll create a whole swackage of berries. Other one's over here. Yeah, this one's a little bit more open. You can see the flowers on them. Very, very pretty, very dainty. But I gotta say, these are probably the sweetest berries in the forest. When they are ripe, oh, they're just so good. Like, yeah, they've got a big stone, but you know, you don't get a lot of meat, but so yummified. Little guy's probably not gonna form any this year, but yeah, unfortunate. And then there's a couple that, like that one there, got eaten off by a deer, of course. There's a few of them here actually, got nailed, chowed down by the looks of things. There and there, but either way. So fingers crossed that the birds don't eat the berries on me and then I lose out. So at least I got the one feast out of their young little furled up leaves. It was just, oh, so tasty, so nice. Yeah, sweet. It was really, really sweet. Couldn't believe it. These guys are beautiful. This is a little tiny spotted coral root. It's Coralarism maculada. Little dog just about stomped on it. There's another one that's just not quite come out of its sheath yet. These guys have a relationship with the fungi, but they're takers. They don't give at all. They don't have any photosynthetic properties. They don't have any chlorophyll of any kind in them. So the only place that they can get their nutrients is from the fungi. And the only time that they need it is during their flowering and reproduction. So yeah, just complete takers. And yeah, you know, the world's got to have givers and takers. Love these guys. Yeah, they're little purple dots on them. I don't know if you can actually see that or not. Wow, very cool. And then in amongst all these other beauties in here, we have, right here, is the regular miner's lettuce. This is Clatonia perfoliata. And this one is just as tasty, has all the same nutrients as in the Siberian miner's lettuce. But you see how the leaf is like a satellite dish? You're going to find that in all of the, where they're starting to flower, they all do that. Their younger ones, they'll have little tiny, almost cotyledon looking leaves. But they might be still at the bottom of these, but I'm not going to go searching for them. Yeah, so, but the Siberian miner's lettuce has 2 leaves coming out adjacent to each other. Yeah, but very similar flowers, but these guys aren't open yet, but they're a lot tinier. Yeah, awesome. These guys are really, really tasty, and their stem is just, oh, it's, see here, it snaps. It's just beautiful. I'm going to chew on this for a bit. Nice. Just a beautiful flavor and a real burst of moisture in your mouth. So nice. Big old satellite dish. And one thing I forgot to mention about the Lamium purpureum in the last Totally Wild Food is these guys also have the ability to break down the plaque that builds up on our arterial walls. So there's another huge bonus to these guys. Yeah, they taste like grass, but you know, make them into tea, it still tastes like grass. But that's okay. Add a little honey or something to it, or just add another tea bag of some kind. But yeah, they're so really cool. So if you take the clavulina cristata that helps transport the cholesterols and everything through your system without having it build up on your walls, this stuff will come in and break down the stuff that's already on there. Right on. I'm telling you, everything that we need to stay healthy is out in nature. Here's a nice tasty little trailside snack. This is the Siberian miner's lettuce, Clatonia siberica. And the difference between this one and the perfoliata is that these guys have two leaves instead of having the one disc, the satellite dish kind of leaf on the perfoliata. Beautiful, beautiful little colors, little tiny, tiny pink stripes on them. Just neat, so neat. And so tasty. They're just really, really good. I love the stalks are my favorite, but yeah. And a total burst of juice. Like, it's nice. It really, really quenches your thirst and rehydrates your mouth. It's so nice. Yeah, just delish. Little birdie nest fell out of the tree in the wind. That's unfortunate. I don't see any eggs in there, but yeah, I'm sure something came along and ate them. But yeah, unfortunate. It happens. Probably came out of one of these guys. I would be assuming right underneath the tree. Yeah, I'm not sure what it is. It might be a junco, it might be a chickadee, it could be a pine siskin. I'm not quite sure. But nonetheless, very sweet. So we were just coming up the bank and I scared a duck. What is a duck doing out in the middle of the woods except to have a nest with a bunch of little eggies in it? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, at least 9 eggs in there. Wow, this is cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my bush camera and set it up here so we can see the babies being born to it. We're going to set up our camera, our bush camera, so that we can maybe watch these babies being born. Yeah, here we go. Here's the nest right in here. So cool. I have never seen, other than a wood duck, lay eggs out in the bush. This is a mallard, female mallard. So how bizarre. Okay, let's set up this camera. So we got our camera pointing at the eggs, and I can see that this has been here for a while. I looked at some of these broken eggshells in here, and these are at least a year old. So obviously this duck likes this spot. So we're going to leave so we're not to disturb her and too much, and hopefully she'll come back and I haven't messed everything up. Okay, first we're going to get our sterilized area here. Let that sit for a minute. We're going to take our bottle, and we're going to do the same thing. Get it nice and good. We'll drain out any excess. It's not going to hurt it. You can do the outside, it's not going to hurt it either. It's all going to evaporate anyways. And of course I already did my hands. So as before, we have candles for ambiance. And we've got our mycelium here, which is just awesome. So we're going to take that in our sterilized chopstick and we're going to mix this guy up, break this guy up a little bit. What we're doing here is we're just breaking them up, and each corn's got a whole bunch of mycelium, and that's going to regrow on our new substrate. So our straw has cooled down. We drained that out, any of the existing water and fluids. Okay, so just going to put in a layer here. It's a nice little layer, and we don't have to pack it down really hard. And then we're going to add Bit of our spored corn cobs there, corn kernels, I should say. Just like that. And those guys will spread. And then we're going to take a little bit more. Oh, the smell of this mycelium is so good. So good. Big chunks won't matter, they're still going to spread. Okay. And we'll keep doing this till we got her full. And if it does work out, what the great thing is you don't have to go through the whole process with the corn again. After you've done all your fruiting and you figured it's exhausted all of its substrate, all the nutrients in the substrate, you can take the mycelium that's in there and transfer it into your newly pasteurized substrate, whether it be sawdust or straw or whatever you choose. Cardboard, as I'd mentioned before. Yeah, I love getting new information. I love it when we get those great comments telling me stuff that I was unaware of, which is just great. Because everybody wants to learn, don't we? I sure like it. There we go. And that's the one jar done. The smell in this is really, really wonderful. It's just so foresty and just, oh, I can sit here and smell it all day. Now, doing this by the layers like that is the mycelium wants to grow through that substrate that we've got in there, so it's having it layered like that, like a sandwich or a layer cake. They penetrate all of that substrate, which is sawdust packs down a little. Like, you can use sawdust, it works, but it can pack down a little bit too much, some people say. But this is a learning curve for me. I've never done this, and I love the way that it's turning out thus far. No guarantees, we're only halfway there. So this guy again will go into a dark place and keep it around 22 degrees. I do think that when I had them in my studio there, it got a little too warm because they only did about, they grew about 3/4 of the jar, like this one did. However, the one that that started getting that mold, I put it in another room and it happened to be a little bit different temperature, and this was the result. I mean, it's completely encapsulated the whole inside, and forget about that green mold. It just said, no, get out of here. We don't like your kind around here. So yeah, pretty awesome. But this one's still going out in the forest. I'm not going to contaminate. And that's another thing too, is you want to be able to squeeze this, your substrate, without juices coming out of it, because it can be too much moisture. And you make sure you have your drain hole at the bottom, because like I said, there are secondary metabolites. And so you're going to have liquid wanting to come out, and just put a saucer or something along those lines underneath it. That'll be enough, and I'll get this all taped up and I'll show you the final result so you don't have to go through the whole process with me. Okay, so we sealed up our lid here with our handy dandy duct tape, because if the women don't find you handsome, they may as well find you handy. And we've taken some gauze and just some regular Scotch tape, and we've covered up these holes so that we can still have some gas passages and some transference. And now we're going to, I'm just going to set up my hanging apparatus, because it's going to hang on an angle like that, so that the secondary metabolites can run down this channel here and then come out my little porthole in the bottom, and I'll just stick a saucer or something underneath to catch the drips. And that's how that's going to work. As a secondary experiment, I have taken, we had a little bit of hay left over there, and there were still little bits of mycelium in the jar from the corn. So, you know what? There's a little bit more on this one too. See, it's all the way through it. So I'm going to stick them back in the dark and a nice temperature, and we're going to see if these ones will grow too. Who knows? I love experiments. Takes me back to my college days. Oh, the Bachelor of Sciences. That was a lot of fun doing that. And this is what I was meaning when I was going to hang it on an angle like that. I actually was thinking more of an angle like that, but I could tighten that up. Either way, this is in my utility room, and so it's nice and dark in here, and it's a constant temperature. So this is how she'll sit for probably a few weeks, until all of the grass gets completely enveloped by the mycelium. And then we've got to change its environment. So we have our makeshift little container for keeping the moisture and everything in there, because you've got to keep the humidity up with these guys. Now it's time to transfer them to where that they're going to get some light. So this is great. They've been in the dark, and I'll just lift up our sheet here. You can see that they're already trying to form pins in there, so I think we're good to go. It's looking pretty darn good. Alright, so what we're going to do also, yes, it's a really dirty old container, but I don't care. So the wonderful thing about this is everything is self-contained in here, and I've got a piece of 2x4 underneath here just to hold it up and keep the angle going backwards towards the back. Alright, so we're just going to keep everything nice and moist in there. I'm going to keep that humidity up. And you'll probably have to do this, and I'll probably have to do this several times a day, I'm assuming. And then we just close up shop here, cover that up. And I've got these wonderful little office clips that are great for attaching this all together, just like that. Bye-bye. And I'll do the same thing on this side here. And then that'll keep everything in there. It can still get a little bit of air. I'll have another one attached at the bottom here. And then it's just, again, back to the waiting game, only on a different platform. I am hungry for homegrown oyster mushrooms. So, it has been 2 days since I put this unit in here. And already getting little pins starting to form where the holes are. There's another one's right here. You can see the little tiny guys coming out. And yeah, just wild, man. Here's a single guy that's coming out here. Where is it? I'm not focused. There we go. Yeah. All right. This is going very, very well, as far as I can tell. Right on. Those are our pins. So I cut a port in the back of the tub as well, so I didn't have to keep spinning it. And it's an old tub, so I don't care. But they're even coming out of the drain hole. So they're doing quite well. Quite happy with this. So look at these guys. They're getting huge. Like, this guy's almost as thick as my finger. And they're all doing just really, really, really well. And the other one in the drain hole down there, he's doing really good. There's more up top. Coming out up top up here. And yeah, just wild. Right on. Beautiful. I can't wait. Well, that turned out to be an absolutely spectacular day for a walk. We found a lot of things and some really unexpected things. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed what you saw, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe button. Until next time, my friends, take care now.